Okay, in chapter 3 we're going to be looking at functions and defining what a function is. Then we're going to look at a type of function called a linear function. So first off, we want to determine if a relation is a function. The easy way to say that is that any x value can only be associated with one y value. So when you're looking at a set of ordered pairs, you just want to look at the x values to see if any are repeated. So on A, none are repeated, so that is going to be a function. So I'm just going to put an F there. If you wouldn't mind, you can go FUN if you want to do that, and then not for not if you do assignments. Looking at example B, I see that the x value 4 here and here have different numbers associated, so that's not a function. Okay, looking at the input-output table, I see that the number 0 for an input has two different outputs. That's not a function. And then looking at the mapping, you want to look at the left side. Each number on the left side only has one arrow coming from it. Don't worry about the two arrows going to number 15 on the right side. You're only concerned with the x values, so that is a function. Alright, so that's how you look at. Now we want to look at a graph. So a core concept that we need to know is if you can draw a vertical line that's up and down that goes through a point more than one point, then it's not a function. So we're looking at example A. If I were to draw a vertical line up there where x equals 2, it goes through 2 points. The same for where x equals 5. That's not a function. Looking at the line to the right, there's no vertical line that's going to pass through that more than once. So that's going to be a function. Alright. Okay. So here we're looking at what is called the domain and the range of a function. So the domain is all of the possible input values. The range is all of the possible output values. So we see that we have a function here defined as y equals 3 times x. And we want to look at it. Alright, so we look at the graph A and we see that it just has 4 distinct points. This is called a discrete graph, meaning that those points are the only parts or only numbers that go into the function. And also notice that looking on the graph, we want to look at the x values and the y values. So we're going to start with the lowest value right down here in the bottom, which is -3 for the x and -2 for the y. We're going to go to the next point, which is -1 for the x and 0 for the y. Then we go to the next one, which is 1 for the x and 2 for the y. And we can see a pattern that it's going up by 2 every time. Both numbers are changing by 2, so our last point is going to be 3 and 4. Okay, example B shows what is called a continuous line, meaning that there's numbers in between 1 and 2 where this is a function. So you can put in decimals, you can put in halves, things like that. So we're going to use our inequality skills, and we're going to say the domain goes from -2 to positive 3. So we're going to start at negative 2 is less than or equal to, because of the closed circle, x because the domain is the x values, and that x is going to be less than or equal to 3. Then we're going to put our range, which is the y values. So we can see that the lowest y value is negative 1 and the highest y value is 2. So we can write negative 1 is less than or equal to y is less than or equal to positive 2. Alright, going on to here. Identifying an independent and a dependent variable. Okay, so by definition, the thing that you change is called the independent variable. So when we write equations, we're usually changing the value of x. And then the value of y then depends upon that. So we look at the function y equals negative 3x plus 12, and that represents the number of fluid ounces in a bottle of juice after you've taken x number of gulps. So I'm going to write that here, y equals negative 3x plus 12. Identify the independent and dependent variables. Okay, the dependent variable is number of gulps, which is x. Excuse me, that was independent. I get going too fast. Our dependent variable is the amount left in the can after, and that's y. So the domain of this is, you could take 1, 2, 3, 4 gulps, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want to do a range. Easiest way to do this is to do a t. Do your x value on the left, y value on the right, and we're going to use 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. At 0, our y value is going to be 10. After 1 gulp, our y value is going to be 9. After 2 gulps, our value is going to be 8. 3 gulps, our value is going to be 7. And then 4 gulps, our value is going to be 6.